We are happy to welcome back Shanae and Mindy. In addition, we have Kinsey Siegler, mom of four and a parent advocate with Nevada Hands and Voices. Dr. Candice Fortunato, pediatric hospitalist and lifelong Nevada resident. Dr. Rima Merhi, board-certified pediatrician, and Dr. Tani Forlini, board-certified clinical pharmacist. So our first question for the families on the panel: can you share tips or advice for other families on how to manage the non-medical things that come with your child's health diagnosis?
Okay, I will go first. Like Eric introduced, I'm Kinsey Siegler. I'm the parent of 4 kiddos here in Nevada, 3 of which are very medically involved. So we've really been through it and had to navigate these systems. So I think the question was any tips on how to navigate things that aren't necessarily the health part of it. You know, not necessarily giving the medicine and doing the things. There's so many other things to navigate. Scheduling the appointments, the insurance, paying the bills, finding the joy in parenthood along the way, right? Like, let's just count up the to-do list that parents have to deal with. It's a lot. And so I guess my tip would be, I got this tip from a good friend. She said, my to-do list got so long, it was so overbearing that I decided to change it to a ta-da list. And so, yes, she had that main list of things she had to do, but each day she would have a blank piece of paper, and each time she did something, she would add to her to-do list. So at the end of the day, she wouldn't have this list where just a few things were checked off of a list of 20 or 30 things, but she had a list of things she had accomplished that day. It was her to-do list. And so I think that has been a helpful tip for me. The other tip would be to reward myself. So after navigating all of these things that I need to navigate, I tell myself, if I make 3 insurance calls today, I get a treat. So don't forget to reward yourself. I treat myself a lot like I treat my children, right? If they do this therapy or they take this medicine, they get a reward. Well, mom should get a reward too. So, you know, just try to make it nice like that. I don't know. Any other parents?
I was going to say self-care is very important, because for you to be in a good state of mind, you're going to be a better parent. And I just think, you know, you have to take the time for yourself too. And I'm the Post-it queen, so that's how I keep organized. Someone comes to my house and they're like, what's all that? And I'm like, that's Monday, that's Tuesday. And it just helps me keep organized, or I can get, you know, pretty crazy.
I apologize. I was over there with my little bunch over there. I didn't really hear the question. What was the question? I'm sorry.
Can you share tips or advice for other families on how to manage the non-medical things that come along with your child's health?
Yeah, honestly, on my end, I can't speak for everyone else, but my little guy, he's pretty much his own agenda book, like he likes to say. So as far as like non-medical things, he has things that he does as a habit. So, and he'll notice, he'll like look at the, like if he's not looking at his watch, he'll look at like the stove clock or wherever he is around the house, and he'll be like, oh, it's 9:15. Like if it's a weekend, oh, my show's on, I'm going to go watch that. Oh, wait, but mom and dad come downstairs by 10, so I need to have my room cleaned. I need to have the trash taken out. So he basically monitors himself in a way. So I'm happy he's 10, he could do that. But as far as everything else in regards to the household, me, like, it's basically repetitive. Like she said, the Post-it queen. If I'm not doing Post-its, I'm the text queen. I'm texting the husband, hey, is the trash out? Is it pulled out to the curb? Is this done? Is this done? Okay, well, take out this because I'm going to cook that tonight. So it's basically like a team effort for me, per se. But it's not really that hard. It's just sometimes life throws a curveball with dealing with sickle cell, because you never know when it's going to come up about, because sickle cell doesn't have a look. I don't think a lot of illnesses have a look. So, like for instance, he can be playing with Gia, and they both can just be like laughing, and then he would just be like, "Mom, I'm tired." That's how we know. So, yeah, it's really not. I can't say really say it's like a thing to where it's in regards to the time-consuming part or managing things. Honestly, day by day is my truth. It's day by day. That's how I handle it. Everybody talk? Okay.
All right, so my follow-up question for the parents is, do any of you care to discuss transportation issues that you've come up with, or school and work absences, having to travel out of state, scheduling, and getting hold of your records? Here's your microphone.
Oh, man. Woo, transportation. Okay. Well, I always had a car up until recently. And a lot of places that usually help out with transportation pertaining to, the kids with diseases or stuff like that, a lot of people are not having funding. So you have to kind of find ways to budget that within your budget. But I used to be a full-time worker. However, my son's diagnosis was basically elevating with regards to pain. So he was missing a lot of school. So I had to get an IEP, and then me missing a lot of work, a lot of issues with work. So I had to resign. And so that puts a dent in the wallet within a household. So as far as affording 2 cars, very non-existent, and then down to 1 car, but husband works all the way in Mesquite, and then I'm out here in Vegas or Henderson, and it was just a lot. So the transportation issues was very hard. And then when I did utilize the services that were offered, like I said, no funding or the availability, and it just didn't coincide to where my son's doctor's appointments, or if he had a crisis, I had to call the paramedics and pay that $800 bill. Still on the payment plan, by the way. Thank you, thank you, Clark County. But anyways, yeah, transportation is pretty hectic on my end, but we're trying to find a balance within it and make do with what we have. Like I said, day by day is my answer.
So in my experience, where we've had a struggle is with transferring records. So my daughter, about a year ago, had a few brain surgeries here locally, and I was in the hospital with her, struggling with some really complicated unknowns and a lot of fear. And during that time, my other kiddos who are medically complex needed to see their specialist. It was coming close to back to school, and they really needed to have this appointment for some other things to get put in place so that they could get proper supports and education. So it's all kind of just this, hamster wheel situation, one thing after the other. And that appointment was coming up, and we couldn't get into the subspecialist until our referral made it over, and the referral got lost somehow. And so ultimately I ended up needing to leave my daughter in the hospital while she was terrified. Yes, her dad could be with her, but as a 13-year-old, she didn't want her dad helping her use the restroom and things like that. She wanted her mom. And so I left and went to an extra appointment, got those referrals, got the referrals taken to the subspecialist, but by the time that happened, we had missed our appointment and ultimately ended up waiting over 8 months to get into that subspecialist and getting the help that we needed. And so it is difficult, the system, to navigate. What I have learned is to just be the squeaky wheel. And that situation taught me a lot. There's a lot of things I would go back and do differently. I wouldn't have just left it up to the referral to make its own way there. I will always get my own referrals now. I have the right to that. I can carry them with me. Sometimes they tell me I don't, and I just fight for that. And I say, actually, no. I want a copy of this MRI, or I want this. I will take it physically with me. I'll come back tomorrow. I will pick it up. And so just being that squeaky wheel and taking more things into control. There are a lot of things I can't control, so I like to utilize the things that I can. And that's one of those things that I've started doing, is just taking the records into my own hands.
The only thing that I would add is to Utilize advocates in the school level, absolutely, to help devise a plan that's going to support students with health issues regarding absences and so many things. I mean, it should be the work of a team to put together a plan to support the kids wherever they're at. And unfortunately, sometimes that does take an advocate with some knowledge about, different things that can be offered that are available that they don't openly or publicly talk about. So I think having an advocate is a definite great opportunity to get things where they need to go, especially when it comes to excessive absences.